Alright, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch Team is here with your latest update on the tropics. I do want to talk a little bit about Invest 95L because it has become more well defined, and it does appear that it could be impacting it does appear that it is going to be impacting the Texas coast for sure. It is increased to a 40% chance of tropical cyclone development, and I do want to here and just show y'all what we have right here. This is what we got right now. Just want to put this into motion, show y'all everything that we're looking at and what we're watching. You can indeed see there's some the thunderstorms right there. This plate more, but I do want to actually show y'all the satellite imagery and what we're looking at with that, because it is looking very, very interesting given what I am seeing here. Hold up, I thought I had this off. I don't know why that doesn't play throughout the whole thing. Whatever, I don't care. But as you can see, you can in fact quite clearly see there is a lot more convection now near the center circle. You can actually see that's rotating. That actually looks like the mid-level circulation starting to rotate a little bit, and it's certainly concerning because when we start to see that, that means it's becoming more and more well defined. It's more well developed, and that's what we got right now. It's a much more well developed tropical system. It is becoming more defined. And if this does develop and it picks up, and sometime tomorrow, if we get more convection, we get the mid level, we get the low level, we get the circulation on top of each other, and we get more convection going, tropical depression would definitely be tropical depression 03E, and then possibly if this rapidly and it organizes itself quick enough and fast enough, the possibility we could have tropical storm Colin here, or Bonnie, depending on which one develops first. I am not sure. This one could certainly be Bonnie or Colin, depending on how fast it develops. With potential tropical cyclone 02E, that's going to depend on will they see will they actually see any kind of if they find a low level circulation that's closed and tight, then it will be upgraded to Bonnie, depending on which one becomes more organized first, the most organized first. And right now we're just closely watching and monitoring the development with this one system right here. It's very, very interesting to see how much development that we have seen with this storm alone. Just with this storm by itself, we've seen quite a bit of development alone with this storm. It's really come a long way from even just this morning. But also want to be looking at the other systems here also, and that does include the system here. So we're also closely monitoring this system. As you can clearly see, there is more convection. As you can see here, it's kind of glitching back and forth. We can see a lot more deep thunderstorm activity happening. We don't exactly know how far south to the center of the circulation, where the actual center of circulation is at. You would think, oh, the center of circulation is much farther to the west than they're expecting that. We're like, okay, if the mid-level circulation is getting farther apart and the low-level circulation is getting farther apart, the storm's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to develop into anything anytime soon. But we're still trying to see more convection developing. We're seeing much more thunderstorm activity. I am going to go and take a look at the radar there in Barbados, because we do have a big convective thunderstorm moving really close to Barbados. I'm going to actually zoom in to this area. It's right in this area. It's hard to actually see, but it's right in that area. And I do want to pull that up because they're going to be having probably a lot of heavy rain moving into the islands very, very soon. And unfortunately, that's, we're only going to see more of that. We're only going to see more of this heavy rain moving into the islands today. Let me just pull that up. This will work, and let me do this. Also, I wanted to say thank you all for 600 plus subscribers. I do appreciate it a lot. I really do. Thank y'all all so much for 600 subscribers that I do in fact have. It does in fact mean a lot for me. I really do appreciate the 600 subscribers. But yeah. Oh wait, no, that's, hold on, that's, okay. Right? Okay, wonderful. Then I'm gonna so as you can see, it's actually a little bit farther off to the south of where the center of circulation is actually at, or where farther south of Barbados, I should say. Then I was actually, a little bit expecting a little farther north. Thankfully, it's not, but still, there's this huge, you can see this huge blob of deep thunderstorm activity just missing southern portions of Barbados and clipping the northern portions of South America, as you can see. And if we take a look at Guyana, as you can see here, this is 400 UTC. It looks a lot farther to the north. This maybe okay. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. So as you can see, we did get that thunderstorm, but it thankfully lifted off to the north. We haven't really seen any other heavy thunderstorm activity develop really anytime soon. It's been pretty cool, calm, and relaxed lately. Nothing super crazy has really developed or happened right now. Nothing really crazy happening in terms of development of this tropical system. Do this. Again, I do think that the development of this, the system it's gonna get more developed, and there's gonna be more heavy rain. This is moving more to the north, now northwest of Guyana. What is going on here? This is indeed a problem. Well, with what we're seeing here, the storm is continuing to move west. Not a lot has really changed. It has gained a little bit more latitude, but right now, with what we're seeing right now, the mid-level circulation is farther to the north for sure. And really not a whole lot is going on right now. Pretty simple. Not a whole lot we need to really talk about right now. Not a whole lot is going on with this system, except for the fact, obviously, that the storm is becoming more well defined and more well developed, as you can see clearly here. If we take a look at the still in progress. My God. I'm all the way up here, then is that it? I think it might be done. It never really went through the center of circulation like, honestly, how I was honestly kind of expecting it to be. But, because I was sort of like, oh, we're going to see this storm, and we're going to see more kind of deep thunderstorm. We're going to see more convection and stuff like that, and it's going to go right through the center, but it didn't. Oh, 40 dots though. So here is the latest satellite imagery of the storm. As you can see, there's a lot more. It seems like a lot more activity, and again, they're saying that the deepest of the thunderstorm activity is the mid-level. We're still trying to find where the low-level center of circulation is at, and if they can find where that low-level center of circulation is at, and the two can kind of stack on top of each other, then they will upgrade this to tropical storm Bonnie, because it does have those winds of tropical storm force winds. However, they haven't been very lucky with finding the center of circulation being closed and tight. However, with Invest 95L, it does have a closed, well, it has a more, it's still broad, but I think it's a little bit more well defined. And there's a little bit more, there's Invest 95L currently lacks quite a bit of convection. Therefore, they aren't able to upgrade it to Tropical Storm Bonnie either. But as I do think, as Tropical Storm as Invest 95L continues to make its way farther to the west, I have certain reasons to believe that as it becomes more well developed, even if it doesn't even reach tropical depression status, there's a possibility, because it will still be impacting land. I do think that this could most certainly be upgraded to a potential tropical cyclone number 3 later tomorrow into the next several days, because right now, with what we're seeing right now, it's just not, it does not have what it needs to be classified as a potential tropical cyclone. Yes, it does have threats, but if it becomes a little bit stronger, more well defined, more convection, more thunderstorm activity, more heavy rain, more intense convection, we can get more intense convection and more thunderstorm activity firing up. That is when I think we could really start to see the storm become more of a threat to land. But right now, Invest 95L, it's just an area of investigation. Later in the day, I do think they're going to do more with the system, more investigations, and stuff like that. So, that's what we have with that. I do want to bring up the satellite imagery, and I'll also take a look at radar with Invest 95L, because, again, it is still pretty far away. Well, look at this, don't pause, this is bothering me. Is it hitting Trinidad at the moment? Or potential tropical cyclone. Okay, this is kind of weird. It is an entire thing. The center of circulation is not at Trinidad and Tobago yet, which is right down here. Let me just do Control F, Control T. This is Trinidad and Tobago, right down here. This is where the center of circulation is, way over here. Thunderstorm activity, the heaviest of the thunderstorm activity, as you can see based on the satellite imagery. Why the hell is this not playing? Okay. So this is where the thunderstorm activity, this is where Trinidad and Tobago is. This is where the heaviest of the thunderstorm activity is to the north of it and well to the west of it. Here is the center of circulation. Really? Okay, try this again. Here's where the center of circulation is at. Now, we do have reason to believe that, because Trinidad and Tobago, right here. Center of circulation right here. It is expected later today, later tonight, into early tomorrow morning. You know, late tonight, we're talking 4 o'clock, probably around 10 o'clock tonight, into the early hours of tomorrow morning, is when this storm is probably going to actually make landfall. The center, okay, just so we know, the center of circulation move over. Now, regardless if the center of circulation moves over or not, you're still going to get the same impacts. You're going to get very heavy rain. You're going to have gusty winds. You're going to have flooding. I do believe Trinidad and Tobago is obviously an island, and so there's mountains there, so there's going to be lots of heavy rain. And mudslides and landslides are going to be one of the biggest threats. Mainly because you're going to have, you have those mountains, you know, a couple thousand feet up. You squeeze out that moisture because it tries to rip the bottom part of the storm out, and so it rips it out, and it just squeezes all this moisture out, and it can mountainous areas get a lot more heavy rain than other areas. Our Met Office said 6 p.m. tonight it's going to make landfall. Well, from where it is right now, okay, 6 o'clock, right now it is moving pretty quickly, but it's still, I mean, you can see where it's at right now in relation to it. It still has a ways to go. It's way over here, so it's got to go all the way across here. Now, maybe it's going to pick up speed. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Control F, go to the National Hurricane Center. All right, so you can see if I go discussion, you know, they're saying in about 12 hours it's going to be approaching it. In 12 hours, that's going to be about 1 a.m. All right, so according to the National Hurricane Center, in 12 hours is when it's going to be approaching it. Let me just click on what I'm trying to show you when it's approaching. So I'm going to click on graphics. I'm going to click on warning cyclones. Ugh, I can't even speak. And so you can see where the storm is actually at right now. All right, you can see where the center of circulation is at there as of 2 p.m. 2 p.m. In 12 hours, it's going to be the center of circulation is going to be approaching it. Now I know on my computer you're probably looking at it's 6:30 at night. What are you talking about? That's UTC. It's 18:30 UTC. Where I live currently, it is actually 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'm just like probably 1 hour ahead of y'all, or behind. Yeah, y'all are ahead of me because it's late in the day. But that's what we're looking at right now. That's where the storm is at. Yeah, 2:30 p.m. in Trinidad. It's 1:31 a.m. I'm using UTC because that's where it's the Coordinated Universal Time. So that's what we're watching right now. The storm's going to continue to move west. All right, and in about 12 hours, and is when the center of circulation, and you're going to have the strongest winds are going to be approaching Trinidad and Tobago. That's at about 1:30 and that'll be about 1 a.m. 1 a.m. my time, 2 a.m. your time. And so this is going to be making landfall. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to stay up extremely late. I'm going to have to do some, I'm going to be doing updates as much as I can throughout the afternoon into the evening and continue to update y'all as the storm continues to approach Trinidad and Tobago, because it's going to be making landfall in the northern portion of Trinidad and Tobago as we move through over the next several hours. And we'll continue to watch this, and I do think this could still possibly reach tropical storm status, maybe by late tonight. So again, this is what it's looking at. So you can indeed have some of the heaviest thunderstorms are making its approach South Trinidad. So you live in southern Trinidad, so you probably won't have you won't really have a lot of strong winds. Majority of the strong winds are going to be north of the center of circulation. And so wind isn't going to be an issue even if you are in the path of the center of circulation. Wind is not going to be an issue. The biggest issue is going to be heavy rain and flooding. That is going to be the biggest issue. And clearly, as you can see in Trinidad, you can certainly see that big blob of convection beginning to move over the northern portion of the island. And again, there's going to be a lot of heavy rain with this storm, without a doubt. Lots of heavy rain, possibly lots of flooding. Really wouldn't surprise me if that were something to happen. Yeah, rain's been going on and off. It's sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. It's all over the place. I understand that for sure. All right, just. All right. Here's, I wish this was farther north. Let me do a refresh on this. Yeah, I can do Barbados, because you can see Trinidad and Tobago. There is some rain moving in that area, but I want y'all to notice the big blob of convection is approaching the northern portion of Trinidad and Tobago. So that's currently what we are monitoring right now. Heavy rain, lots of flooding is going to be happening. So okay, this is really complicated. So because the storm is literally bigger than y'all, the entire system is bigger than y'all. What meteorologists mean by a direct landfall is when the center of circulation makes a landfall. And the center of circulation is expected to make landfall in northern Trinidad. So the storm is going to be making landfall in Trinidad. And I know this is really complicated. Just because it's raining doesn't mean the storm has made landfall. It is very complicated sometimes. But I do have reason to believe that the storm, we're seeing, a lot more convection to the north, or to the, and we're wondering, okay, the mid-level circulation might shift it to the north. Does that also mean that the low-level circulation might shift also to the north? That's something else we gotta quickly monitor and see if it happens, because right now we don't know if the center of circulation is that going to shift to the north or not. They haven't found a a tighter center of circulation right now. But what I can say is this blob of convection, this big, convective thunderstorm right now, is going to be moving right over Trinidad and Tobago. The northern portion is something I'm noticing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, hello, welcome. Glad to have everybody here today. Northern Trinidad is going to get the strongest winds, but again, winds are not going to be an issue at all. You're going to have 40-mile-an-hour winds if you live in northern portions of northern portions of Trinidad. Right now, y'all are going to get a lot of rain. Flooding is going to be the biggest issue. That is what you need to be most worried about, is the heavy rain from it. Yes, northern Trinidad and Tobago will get the worst impacts. That is where it's expected to make landfall, is in northern portions of Trinidad and Tobago right now. This is currently what we're watching. There's a big, I just want to emphasize, but Tobago will get the worst. Find out what Tobago is, because I actually don't know, and I feel dumb. I'm gonna be honest. It's that island right there. This is Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what the difference is. Shit, I feel dumb. Wait, hold on, what's the difference again? Oh well, it's Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, whatever. So that's what we got right now. A lot of those thunderstorms are just exploding in that system. Absolutely, there's a lot of convection. There's a lot of lift. All right, going on in the atmosphere, which means when you have lift, the atmosphere is unstable, and you have convective processes. You get a parcel of air rising within the atmosphere. It hits when the temperature and the dew point are the same, is when that parcel of air that's rising has the same density as the air surrounding it, and that's when it stops. That's when it condenses, and that's when you get clouds. And this happens a hell of a lot over let's just say 5 minutes. This happens a lot, and that's when you get rain, because there's too much moisture, and it's condensing, and then when there's too much moisture within a certain region, within a certain area, it falls as rain. Sort of how storms work. Well, from what I understand, from the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, it shows that they still have about 12 hours. Okay, they still have about 12 hours before the actual tropical storm force winds come in. Because when you look right here, let me just zoom in on here. Alright. Very easy for everyone to see. If I can even zoom over. Oh, god damn it. So you can clearly see that 2 p.m. You can see where the tropical storm force winds are actually at. And that's gonna, and the next, where that white S is at, I guess you could say the white S, the next icon there, according to the National Hurricane Center, I went to the discussion, went to the bottom to see all the different, where all the different icons would be at and what times. That's 12 hours. So based on what I'm seeing right now, this is going to take an additional 12 hours until it makes landfall. Now, that would be at 1 a.m. I might do a live coverage, potential Tropical Cyclone Two making landfall in Trinidad and Tobago. I might do that. And I can imagine I would imagine it's very gloomy outside. It's very rainy. The winds are very gusty, and it must be, not gusty, but squally conditions. If you know what I'm saying, very squally conditions outside, I can assume. It's crazy that they have the low that's south. I like tracking the weather and hold up. The weather, it needs all this stuff to track and the spin in the north. Yeah, I would agree. Definitely tracking the storms and tracking these systems is just so fascinating. If you are new to the hurricane watch team, feel free to subscribe. I personally have been tracking weather like this and hurricanes for around, since 2015. My very first storm was Tropical Storm Bill. I've been tracking tropical systems since June 16th, 2015. So this is going on now 7 years since I've been tracking them, studying them, researching them, and learning more about them, and educating myself to better help myself educate more people on the development of tropical cyclones. So what would happen if it would shift more south? Now, the only reason it would take a shift farther to the south would be because if the high pressure, Bermuda high, if the high pressure certainly becomes more powerful. Now, I don't know what would cause this. That part I haven't quite researched and I don't know yet. But why would this happen? We're still trying to, figure this out. Why this would certainly just happen. But if the high pressure would have to become stronger and more broader, and it would press down on the storm and it would push it south into South America. But that is not anticipated and not expected. Thank you. I really appreciate it. If you want, you can join our Discord server. You can go there and you can ask us questions, and we will work you through this storm. We will answer all your questions. We have people who will be up in the middle of the night. We have only actually a few people who would do that in the middle of the night. If you need someone to talk to help you through the storm, you can go into our Discord and join us, and you can ask any kind of comments that you have, questions or concerns, and we will be there to walk you through and things to expect hour by hour by hour. Also, we have a Patreon. It starts at $1 a month, $12 a year. If you are interested, we will be releasing Patreon exclusive posts. that you can see on there. It's gonna be really, really cool. You're really gonna like it a lot. So I'm just gonna Alright, we do have someone who wants to join the stream. I'm gonna get these connected because we have someone who wants to join the stream and talk about the storm. And I am more than okay with that, but I need to just get everything connected. We got so much going on right now. All right. Hello? Saying. Hello? You should be able to hear what I'm saying because it should be alright. I'm just going to wait for him to...
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Alright, wonderful. Very, very glad. As you can see, we're still watching the storm. We're closely monitoring where it's headed. Right now, as I've been talking about, I do have some questions in here. So why is it not stronger? Well, because it doesn't have a well-defined center right now. It's still very, very broad. It has to organize itself a little bit more before it becomes a tropical storm. And the reason that is because the center of circulation is very, very broad. It just needs time to organize itself, and the water temperatures aren't like screaming 35 degrees centigrade right now. You know, if it was like 30 degrees centigrade right now, we would definitely have a hurricane on our hands, without a doubt.
I think they did send back information, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, let me actually take a look on and see what information they brought back, because earlier they were saying, 50 knots at surface. They were saying surface winds were 50 knots. I'm not even joking. It was scary.
By the way, 50 knots is 57 miles per hour for the people inside the chat.
Yeah, it's just shy of it's almost 60 miles an hour. I don't know where they're going now. They're going away from the storm. I don't know where they're going, if I'm being honest. They're just traveling away from the storm right now. I think they're done.
The Discord link,
it should be in the chat. It should be,
in the description.
Message us on Discord. Ariel Waxel is right there, and then there's our Discord server. So it's all in the description.
Description.
Yeah, it's in the description. So if you want to, you can DM me on Discord, and yeah, you can talk to us. guess I'll just do this to make this. You're gonna send a friend request? Not a problem. We will definitely reply. Oh shit! Look, they found 1,004 millibars. Wait, hold up.
Oh my god. That's way lower than I expected.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. They're not even anywhere near the storm though. They're over a freaking like Dominica or something.
I think that there might be an issue with something going on. Because
yeah, it says they're at 14 degrees north, which is hella far north, and 61 degrees west, and they say the air pressure is like 1004 millibars.
Someone asked, how strong do you think this will get?
So personally, if this storm does get as strong as they're saying it's going to, a hurricane, a lot of the models are actually showing this does become a hurricane, and I think it's got a decent. I think it has a decent chance at it becoming a hurricane. What do you think?
I think it does too. All it really has to do is just organize, and I'm pretty sure it will have everything that it needs to get to that certification.
Yes. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are talking about potential Tropical Cyclone 2 as it nears the Lesser Antilles.
It can't go that far north due to the Azores High blocking it. If I would guess, I think it would only go like 5 to 10 more miles north. But I think that if that only will happen if the Azores High weakens a little bit. But I highly doubt that.
Yeah, same. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Someone asked, can they join the call? You can, but the server we're in is only for members who are in the actual team already. So you would have to fill out a form just to get inside of this specific Discord server because we don't want anyone like spamming or raiding it. But thank you for the question.
Yeah. I appreciate the subscribe. I don't know how to word that. Thank you for the subscription.
The subscription.
But if you want to join the Hurricane Watch team, we do have a page that you can fill out, and we will highly appreciate it if you are interested in joining the Hurricane Watch team. Let us know.
The forum, it's going to be inside of our Discord server. Just ask for it inside the Discord server, and I will send it to you.
Yes. Yeah. Our Discord server is in the description if you want to join. I'm actually going to copy it and paste it just so they're like, okay, I can't find it, then it'll be right there. Just to make things a little bit easier for them.
But I think if this storm doesn't like start organizing pretty soon, I think that Invest 95L could take the name Bonnie.
Yeah, I mean, because have you seen the satellite imagery from Invest 95L?
Yeah, it has a very good rotation so far, and it's like super compact, so it should be extremely easy for it to organize. And it has little to no wind shear and little to no dry air, and it's inside of some of the hottest waters in the world right now.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, you know how hot these surface temperatures are right now. It almost is like, is this possible? Is this real? You know, it just almost doesn't even seem possible. Because of just how much you know how hot the water is. There's actually a big burst of convection. I think that's the mid-level circulation. Is that the mid-level? This low level that we're seeing, we're seeing spin.
I think that the center of circulation is like just to the northeast of the burst of convection.
Because I see south of it, there's a little bit of something spinning. You can kind of
Oh
see
yeah.
exposed. You can kind of see something spinning down here. I don't know if that's a low level circulation or if that's just a little vortice right now.
Someone says that they want to go see what's going on in the Greater Antilles right now.
Yeah, not a problem. I know that's a lot more important for some people because that's, impacting them.
This system, it should only last like a few, I'm guessing like 5 hours because of how fast it's moving.
Yeah, it's moving really fast, but according to the National Hurricane Center, it won't make landfall for another 12 hours. They're saying 1 a.m. Tomorrow morning it's going to make landfall, Central Time.
I think that the greatest factor that determines this storm becoming a hurricane is if it hits South America or not.
Yeah. If it makes landfall in South America, there's a lot of mountains in South America, northern South America. And if it interacts with some of those mountains, the storms can be sheared apart. Because when you have really tall mountains, it rips the bottom out of the rips the bottom part of the storm out, and the whole system just collapses and falls apart.
That's what happened with.
See, can you please look on the radar and give us details on it? Yes, indeed, I can. So as you can see right here, there is, again, I've been talking about this blob of convection lately, and you can clearly see that blob of convection just explodes in energy right there as it comes into view right there. And you can see it is making its way towards I forgot how to speak, oh my god. Trinidad and Tobago area, and I'm afraid that as it continues moving in that general direction, it's going to produce, there's going to be a lot of heavy rain in that area, and it could certainly produce some flooding, unfortunately. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I really do appreciate the support. But that's what we're watching right now. We do have this big burst of convection that happened, and it's producing a lot of rain, and that area of rain is moving to the very northeast tip of Trinidad and Tobago. Is starting to get some of those showers from that thunderstorm, from that convection right there. There we go. Couldn't speak. And that is something. Say what?
Nothing. Sorry.
I do not have a live camera. I don't have a live camera. If you mean like, do I have access to live cameras? No, I don't have any access to live cameras, unfortunately. Although I wish I did. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining the Discord server. So, after we get the stream... Oh, wait, hold up. Where had... if you're asking where Adrian Weather Forecast is, he is no longer part of the team. If you were watching us when he was, he is no longer part of the team. He has his own YouTube channel, his own weather. It's just me, and we have some other team members. The team is relatively small. But yeah, he is not currently part of the team anymore, if you were here when he was part of the team. Alright, so, say what?
I was just gonna say I'm pretty sure he doesn't really upload that much about this system.
I mean, he could be getting thousands of views. I mean, he has over 6,000 subscribers. Honestly, I'm kind of jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I will be sending you the form right now. Okay, I just sent it to you privately. Someone suggested that you should go on Earth Cam because it has a good live camera.
EarthCam is a good one. Live cam. All right, earthcam.com. I actually
We're
can't.
not.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if there's going to be flooding. Like, I'm not sure if there's going to be that much storm surge. I think that rain is going to be the biggest threat.
Honestly, it's just gonna look like a shower. It's just gonna look like a heavy shower. Honestly, it's not gonna be anything super crazy. I need to figure out what to search for. Trinidad. Just that's beautiful. Wow, that is really pretty. I don't care if it's unsafe. I don't care. Great, great. There's all this information here.
I'm not sure if there's even going to be, like, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be rain with, like, high waves.
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
think it'll be
rain.
anything that crazy.
This. Trying to figure this out. I'll have to have a link because I can't find. Actually, Wendy. I've gone to Wendy, and sometimes Wendy has some pretty good links for no links, but I've gone to Wendy and I've used their. What do you call it? Their map thingy for their cameras.
Yeah.
Wendy has cameras.
I'm actually going to go to Wendy just to see where it says the center of circulation is.
Well, I can't. It shows
Oh,
us.
wow.
Yeah, it's really far south. It looks like it's about to make landfall in South America.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to hit Guyana.
It won't let me zoom in. I don't understand. Oh. Windy.
If that was actually the circulation, then there must be a lot of wind shear here, and there's not that much wind shear.
Yeah, it's not making much sense if I'm being honest with you at all. I need to look at.
Wendy, according to Wendy, the highest, the wind gusts go all the way up to 36 knots. Which is barely a tropical storm.
Yeah.
Actually, 37.
Yeah, there's not a lot of radar going on here.
I'm gonna be going to. Oh yeah. Most of the waves could be going towards
Come on, gosh dang it, this isn't working.
towards the Bridgetown area. That's all the way like by the Western Antilles. Sorry.
If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to go in the chat and comment. Where's the tropical storm right now? Well, right now, it is currently. It's still pretty. It's north of Guyana. I think that's how you pronounce the name of the country, Guyana. And with what we have right now, again, the National Hurricane Center is saying this should make landfall in about 12 or so hours. And that is what we believe is going to happen. I feel like the low is far north. I don't think it's that far south. Now, that is where the mid-level circulation is at. Where they're finding the low-level circulation at the low, because you're looking from space, or looking down, and you're more likely seeing the mid-level circulation. So when you see this, you see all of this over here, that's more likely you're looking at the mid-level circulation in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. You're not actually seeing the low-level circulation. The low-level circulation is beneath all those clouds. That's what I think is going on.
Yeah, you can't really see the circulation.
At the low levels of the atmosphere. Do anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns? I want to just answer as many questions as I can continue to answer. And yes, I would certainly say for sure that the rain bands are definitely forming. That's how you're getting rain right now, is because of the outer rain bands approaching Trinidad and Tobago right now, because of those rain bands right now.
The bands are actually blowing up in convection right now, too.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so y'all can see the rain bands of what I'm talking about. So yeah, you can really see those rain bands. It's certainly, it's starting to spin and rotate a little bit more. What is the position of the storm? God, it's so hard to believe that it looks like the mid-level circulation, it's just so far north, you would assume that it'd be the low-level circulation too. But they're not stacked on top of each other right now. So.
Wait 1 second. There has been 27 knots reported in Bridgetown, but 12 knots reported in Trinidad.
Wow. So you can track the tropical storm. One of my favorite websites to use is Tropical Tidbits. It pretty much tells you the position of the storm. Also, Track the Tropics and Mike's Weather Page are also good websites.
The majority of the thunder showers are located near Tobago, but a lot of them are out to sea though.
Mm-hmm. Most of them are north of Trinidad and Tobago, but it does appear some of the heavy rain is trying to move in the very northern portion of Trinidad and Tobago.
When night comes, it seems like this storm has a big burst of convection. Why it only happened at night and not too much blew up in the day?
This is a complicated subject.
Well, it might be because you can't really see anything during the night unless you're using infrared.
There's an actual scientific reason behind why we get more convection. And it's kind of like you have all the heat build up throughout the day, and all that heat is released through convection at night, I believe. Something like that.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so you have all this heat build up all day, and then you get all that heat buildup is released through the form of convection at nighttime. I think it's called the daytime minimum and the nighttime maximum. At nighttime, you have the maximum amount of lift in the atmosphere, and the daytime is all that energy has been kind of dissipated, and that's usually, in the morning, early in the morning when you wake up and you look at the storm, is usually when you're going to see it to look the more impressive. And then towards the end of the day, it doesn't look as impressive. Remember early in the morning how it looked kind of round?
Yeah.
That's because it was at its nighttime maximum, and now it just kind of looks all sprawled out again. It doesn't look as good as it did this morning.
I just put Tropical Tidbits' website inside of the chat for you, Wilson Dog. All you have to do is just copy and paste that into your browser, and then it should pop up.
Yeah. Wow, 50 people are watching.
That's a lot. Oh my god.
51 viewers. I'm trying not to say anything because I'm afraid I'm gonna jinx it.
Oh yeah, you did. Dang.
Yeah, I'm like, I know those are about to just drop off the edge if I say a single word.
Someone said that we should go to Mike's weather page.
Yeah, Mike's weather page is also really good. Track the Tropics is also really, really good. Track the Tropics.
Someone says, thanks, I'm in Barbados. It is quite windy with sporadic, moderate to heavy showers. No lightning or thunder as yet.
Yeah, usually with tropical systems, you don't get thunder or lightning, especially near the core, because there's not, like in a thunderstorm, there is more vertical lift in the atmosphere. With the tropical system, it's rotating and rising. It's just rising motion. You don't have any strong updrafts. Those strong updrafts carry ice particles and water particles in the upper levels of the atmosphere. When you have that going on, you get the ice particles and the water particles crashing up against each other, and they actually create a negative charge. And that's how you sort of get lightning. You get this negative charge built up in that part of the cloud until it finds something that is positively charged at the low levels of the atmosphere, until it can kind of bridge that gap together. And that's sort of how lightning, I believe, works. Pretty cool stuff.
Could you go back to the visual satellite imagery really quickly? I have to look at something.
Sure, not a problem.
It seems that a lot of the energy is going from the eastern side. I mean, to the west, from the western side to the eastern side. The model I think that's better at tracking the storm is the European model.
Interesting.
The GFS is also doing an okay job, but I think that the European model is just doing better because the GFS model has been really crazy this year.
Yeah, the GFS has just been, I guess you could say, sporadic and kind of over the top, to be honest. While I feel like that has been this year. Yeah. Which model do you think is, the GFS is, in my opinion, not really the best model. It's been, remember way back in June, they were saying a Category 4 hurricane making landfall in Louisiana?
Yeah, I was so confused.
The conditions and the atmospheric conditions simply do not favor this right now, and I just don't see this happening anytime soon at all.
Ever since 2020, I feel like the GFS model has just been messed up.
Yes, 2020 was terrible. There's just, honestly, there's just so much going on right now with what we have seen. What we have seen with the models lately. I almost feel like a lot of the models aren't even that accurate. You have to just kind of make your own model. You have to know what's going on in the atmosphere. You have to have an idea what's going on in the atmosphere. Then you have to make a prediction on what we could see in the future, based on what the current conditions we have right now, and make a logical decision of what could happen. It's like you almost have to make your own model. I feel like that's better than actually relying on the real models, It's crazy.
Also, the reason why you guys might not be experiencing that that much wind is because the wind field is so small, and it's not really that big, so you really won't get any impacts unless you're right by the eye wall.
Yeah. It's absolutely incredible. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, we just jumped up to 65 viewers.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say anything about it. I'm just like, wow, it's rare to get something like this. This is definitely probably the biggest record that I've ever had. 65 viewers right now. That's something you don't see every day on the Hurricane Watch team. I'm running out of things to say because I'm like, I've said everything. The biggest threats with this are going to be heavy rain and flooding. Gusty winds are possible, not super likely you're going to have damaging winds. Again, this is going to be a weak tropical system coming through. We're not going to see anything like a hurricane or anything. This is just going to be generally a weak tropical system, nothing super crazy. This is honestly nothing that insane, honestly. What else can I talk about? Heavy rain. We've seen flooding. That's going to be a big That's going to be a big thing that we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of flooding with this system. What else? What else? Flooding, heavy rain. Based on the satellite imagery, you can clearly see that the storm is rotating, and we are certainly seeing a lot of heavy rain. Near Trinidad and Tobago, just off the northern coast, is where we're having extremely heavy amounts of rain. I have heard that the TW behind TD2, the tropical wave behind Tropical Convection 2, might interact. What do you think? Now, it depends on how close they get, you know?
For me,
my next weather update will be just after 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, because I have to go, I gotta go and get my hair cut because my hair is all, it's a mess. I gotta clean it up. Do I like baseball? I think just by how much I've talked about the weather, I think we all know the answer to that. I'm not a sports fan. However, I do take meteorology very, very seriously. I love meteorology. I love hurricanes. I love severe weather. In the winter, we'll talk about bomb cyclones, and those are just incredibly those are super fascinating. When you look at them, bomb cyclones are absolutely extremely fascinating.
it looks like a big vicious convection is about to happen right by Grenada.
All right.
Yeah.
So. So pretty soon, unfortunately, I do have to go. So I am going to wrap the stream up, and I'm just gonna one last time gonna talk about what we have going on right now and what we are watching. Currently, potential tropical cyclone 2E. It's well off to the east. The center of circulation is well off to the east of where the circulation is at, east of Trinidad and Tobago. I do believe this is going to continue to move westward and make landfall in Trinidad and Tobago and bring very heavy rains and very, very gusty winds to that area. And I do believe that this is going to cause a lot of flooding and a lot of flooding in that area. Unfortunately, this is going to be very, very bad for Trinidad and Tobago. And most of Venezuela and Colombia is going to get a lot of heavy rain. And then we do expect this storm to intensify past 50, 60, 70 and become a low-end Category 1 hurricane prior to landfall there in Nicaragua. It's only been 2 years since they're still trying to get over the devastating effects of Hurricane Iota and Eta, as they made landfall there not too long ago there in 2020. It was absolutely devastating for that area. Absolutely horrible.
Um, he just finished the farm and he is asking what happens now.
Alright, well, first I need to finish the stream up. I need to close the stream up. And then I will talk to you about what we will do. I have to leave here in about 10 minutes. So I need to get myself ready. Thank you so very much for everyone who have joined. We highly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to join our Patreon. And also, join our Discord server if you can. We would really appreciate it. We will talk to you. We will talk to you hour by hour as we can and try to get you through the storm the best that we can. We will give you our update and what we think as a team of what this storm will do. Thank you so very much for being here and supporting the Hurricane Watch team. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and I'll talk to you guys later this evening. Peace out.